Hey, Tariq, let's talk a little baseball. We got the World Series going on. Chance to kind of break down where the game is headed. There was a lot of what strikes me is the percentage of runs that are being scored off the home run these days, and how much I miss some of the smaller things. And then last night, game one, the Dodgers put together the breakout inning, essentially without using the long ball, putting together the little things. Is there still a place for small ball in baseball?
Absolutely. I mean, look how many times it was either feast or famine for the New York Yankees to try to win in the playoffs. They either hit the long ball and won the series, or they didn't hit the long ball and it cost them the series. I mean, that's how their team was built. Unfortunately, you've got to find ways to steal bases. I mean, I saw that last night. Mookie Betts did it, and players have got to start moving runners over. It's worked for a number of years, but we once again, fell in love with the long ball. Back in the 90s, you used to have a commercial, chicks dig the long ball. We fell in love with it again. And really, it's resulted in a lot of teams advancing on. But that's feast or famine. And the sport has really changed, I think, definitely on the mound.
The long ball has always been prevalent, but it got backed up by analytics, Pat. Now they have evidence that says this is how you ought to be playing the game.
Well, and it's been that way forever. Look, I've also find it interesting. You think it's bad after game one as we're taping this show, right? Like as this series goes on, playing back to back to back to back to back to back, you're going to have pitchers that wouldn't normally be starting games in a World Series that are now going to be on the mound against guys that are swinging for the fences every single time. Like the longer this series goes on, the worse it's going to get, because those pitches thrown by game 3, 4, and 5 guys would be pitches that would be thrown, like a starter, an ace who would be starting 1, 5, 7. But I do have to say, I like it, one, for the excitement. Like, you never know what's going to happen when somebody's at the plate. And 2, you're able to turn these games on their head. There is no lead that is a safe lead now, and that makes for very exciting baseball in the fall.
Is this generational? Is it just me? Because to me, the 3 best plays in baseball are the triple, the hit and run, a successful hit and run, and a suicide squeeze. And the hit and run and the suicide squeeze are things that I haven't seen not once in the postseason.
No, earlier I saw stolen base and I was kind of shocked. I like the small ball aspect of it. It keeps you in the game. You never know when one run in one inning might be the difference in a game that's played in 9 innings or even in extra innings. You never know how beneficial that's going to be. But we're seeing a lot of feast or famine, 5-run innings, 3-run innings, and that's the ball game for you. I think what's interesting is generational is the pitching. We used to have starters go 7, 8 innings, complete games. And that doesn't exist anymore. Like, literally, they're saying that Clayton Kershaw, who's had his troubles in the playoffs, dominated, and he only pitched 5, 6 innings, if that. And literally, that's half a game. You go to your bullpen for a couple of outs, and you're surviving to get outs, basically, to get to 9 innings so you can win a game. So pitching is totally different now than I've ever seen before. And a team is never out of the game, too, because one bad pitching move can result in a big inning.
But you can also make the argument that the development of pitchers like Clayton Kershaw, I mean, look, you've seen pitchers the last couple of years that are just unbelievable. If he would have pitched back in the day, 30, 40, 50 years ago, he's a dominant pitcher. The fact that these home runs are coming at the rate that they are give these other teams the ability to combat him, right? Like if Clayton Kershaw pitched in the 70s or the 80s, who's hitting him? Who's winning a game against him, right? He's not going to see the order the 3rd, 4th time, and that's when Clayton Kershaw is at his best, right? Like, it's the home run ability that keeps Clayton Kershaw from shutting down games and making it completely unwatchable.